On Saturday, March 20th, the Virginia Wahoo's men's basketball team will kick off the NCAA tournament against number 13 Ohio. I'm your host, Lauryn Nilson, and this is Who You Got. Hello, Wahoos, and welcome back to another episode of Who You Got. Today, I'm in studio with Don Jones, Stephen Mallozzi, and William Foshee. I'm your host, Lauryn Nilson. So, emotions are high. It's our first NCAA tournament since the pandemic started, and I would love to hear what our analysts have to think about the Who's odds and for the rest of the tournament. William, we'll start with you.
And Lauryn, it's really great that we're able to be here. It was a lot of struggle for the Cavalier program to deal with COVID compliance issues, but after a bit of a scare there at the end, they found their way into the tournament in the West, now facing Ohio. And Don, looks like it's going to be a great first game.
We better be ready to play. I mean, they're not going to be an easy out. It's a 13 seed, which often opens the door for an upset. But I think Tony Bennett's going to have his guys ready. I think our bench is going to be the difference, just like it was in the ACC tournament. And I think we're going to come out with a win.
And I like seeing Ohio at a 13 seed as our first competition. As opposed to coming in as a 1, you see a team with a little bit more experience, a little bit more skill. And I think that that's going to be really important in setting the tone for this team going out throughout the rest of the tournament. And Stephen, looking at this game, I think that the one thing that you're seeing is that the UVA offense has got to allow its system to run. We've seen games throughout the season where we've gotten overly confident with our three-point shooting. We've relied on it too much. We've allowed it to take over our offense, and that's when we start to see the Cavs have their biggest slip-ups.
Absolutely, but when that three-point shooting is working, I mean, that offense is unstoppable. We've seen the best Virginia offense we've seen in years from this program, from this team. Hauser's on fire, and you never feel like there's a time when we're out of it. You never feel like there's a time where we can't score. And in the past, I felt like if the other team scores more than 55 points, we're toast, because it's all about the defense. In this case, though, I don't feel that way. And granted, the offense isn't perfect. It's very stringy. It's very up and down. We saw at the end of the season, it fell apart at times, and when our offense went down, it brought our defense with it. But I'm pretty relaxed about this. I feel like if we had finished out the ACC tournament, we would have won. I'm not super concerned about the first round. The concern for me starts to come in at the second.
That's a fantastic point, Stephen, and I do want to bring up, how are we feeling past round 1? Definitely, we're thinking that the Who's are going to come in strong, not take a loss in the first round, but then again, it is March and things happen, so let's talk. How are you feeling after round 1?
Well, Lauryn, I think that Stephen hit the nail right on the head. I think that this is a team that throughout the season has shown nothing short of composure. They're a team that's incredibly stable. They're a team that works incredibly hard. They work well together. And they're a team that, in spite of adversity when it's come down to the wire, has shown up in ways that we have not seen Virginia teams do in the past. I think that coming out of the round of 64, we're looking at a Cavalier dub. We're looking at not a handled dub, but one that's been fought, one that's been earned, and one that's going to be a really strong foundation to move us into the round of 32.
Our only problem, I would say, being after the round of 64, the round of 32, it only gets tougher from there. I mean, we're either going to play Creighton or University of California, Santa Barbara the next round, which are two significantly better teams than Ohio, I would say. And it's not going to be easy. And as we keep moving forward, Gonzaga's looming on the horizon. And how are we going to do when we play against Gonzaga? We played them early in the year, and they smoked us.
The second round, if Creighton makes it, I'm a little less confident. I'm not super worried about UC Santa Barbara. However, I'm not going to talk about Creighton because I know one of my colleagues has very strong opinions about that program.
Well, I know, Stephen, you're looking at a Creighton team that, despite, a pretty brutal loss at the end of their conference tournament, is coming in with vindication. They are a team that wants to win. They're a team that finally seems to have put the pieces together in a way where they've got a basketball team, and a good one at that, on the floor. I think that the Cavaliers have no easy walkthrough. And as tempting as it might be to focus on Gonzaga in the Sweet 16, we've got two really, really important games to get there.
So that brings me to my next question. Would you guys rather see us rematch and kind of go into redemption with Gonzaga, or would you like to get to see them get knocked out by an earlier team?
I think that something that's so interesting about this season's tournament in particular is that, opposed from other years, Gonzaga is just such a clear standout favorite. It's been undisputed. They have dominated performances. Their shooters are lights out. They are a complete, smart, composed basketball team. However, this is March. You never know what's going to happen. I think that the best case scenario for the Cavaliers And one that is very realistic is that we see a Gonzaga team come into the round of 64, perform very well, and then potentially choke in the round of 32. In that event, if we see Gonzaga lose in the round of 32, I think that we see a completely different NCAA tournament landscape.
I think that's a long shot, but I do thoroughly believe with all my heart that Missouri or Oklahoma has a better shot at taking down Zaga than we do. The composure of Gonzaga, I think you hit it, is just unbelievable. We've never seen a basketball team that is quite as composed as this team. It doesn't matter what happens on the floor. We saw it when they were down in the conference championship by 12 at halftime. They come out and obliterate. They double up their opponent in that game to go on to win by double digits again. And BYU is not a bad basketball team, and they doubled them up in the second half. I really think that Virginia, with our style, we just don't match up well against Gonzaga at all. And I think that we're in some trouble if we end up facing them in the round of 16. And I think that's where our road ends if we have to face them. If we don't face Gonzaga, Virginia makes it out of the West. Book it. I'm calling it now. Iowa, not real. Kansas, not real. Virginia, coming out of the West if Zaga, we don't have to face Zaga.
As much as I want to be a homer and agree that if Gonzaga's out, UVA is going to make it all the way, I still can't see us beating a team like Iowa. I cannot see Luka Garza is one of the best, if not by far the best big man in the country, and I do not see Jay Huff guarding him in the post. I think Jay Huff is a three-point shooter. He's good. He's got good long arms. He's a good shot blocker, but Luka Garza is different.
This is a team, unlike those in the past, that has shown that they can see adversity, that they will see a team start to run up on the scoreboard, start to take them out of their rhythm and make them play faster basketball. And because of the new weapons that we have on offense, we are able to now adjust and play with some of that pace. What I will note, Luka Garza, there's very little that the Cavaliers are going to be able to do there. However, this is a team that plays really, really good inside defense. UVA's pack line defense is meant to help the paint. It's meant to help inside. UVA is okay giving up some of those forced three-pointers. And at the end of the day, I think that if we force a loss to Iowa by having them shoot the lights out, that's one that Tony Bennett's going to walk away from and say, hey, you know what? We came out today. We did our job.
All right, everybody, it is time to put your money where your mouth is. Who is going the farthest? Who do you have to win? Where's UVA getting out? I want to hear it all, starting with you, William.
Well, Lauren, I think right now you're looking at a great opening performance from UVA, a really strong game. Not an easy win, but a hard-fought battle that comes out by about a 6 or 8 point margin. I think that the round of 32, things look a little bit shaky, but we managed to, skirt our way by the skin of our teeth. But I don't think that we stand a chance in the round of 16. I think that Gonzaga is going to put a very, very strong 5 out on the floor. I think that they are definitively the best team in the country. I think that they are the best college basketball team that we have seen in a very long time based on their IQ, their chemistry, their composure. This is a mature group of players, and I think that they're going to make a run and more than likely walk away with the NCAA championship.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think UVA, if they play Gonzaga in the Sweet 16, is going down. But also they could get upset by Ohio, and they could get upset by who I think Santa Barbara in the second round. But overall, my favorite to win the whole thing is Illinois. I think Ayu Dosunmu is one of the best guards in the country, if not the best. And Kofi Cockburn is the best big man in the country. So I've got Illinois winning the whole thing.
I could be boring here. And I thought about this. I thought about this long and hard. Gonzaga has the best shot at winning this thing. But every single year there's a favorite. And in all the years I've been watching March Madness, I don't remember a single year where the hands-on favorite, has actually taken home the cake. I am not taking Gonzaga only because I believe in trends. I am a trends guy. And eventually the trends say, you gotta lose. You can't win them all. And I don't think Gonzaga's the team to do it. Gonzaga loses to Missouri in the round of 32. Virginia wins the West and loses in the Final Four. The winner of the NCAA tournament, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Baylor. They're a sleeper. They're the one seed I forgot about. But you know what? I'm sticking with it. Baylor wins. Virginia out in the Final Four. I'm telling you right now, you don't win money on March Madness by taking the favorites, baby.
You can't win them all. Strong closing words by Stephen. All of our analysts picking someone different to win the NCAA tournament. Stay tuned as we figure out if these predictions come true. We'll see you next time.